What's up, Mortgage Coach community? I am sitting down with Kathryn Pedersen. She did not know we were going to record this, so it's like very impromptu, zero preparation. In fact, I'd put this under the category of preparing for the next call that Kathryn and I do together. How's that? Does that take some pressure off, Kathryn?
Oh, completely.
Right on. Well, I really wanted to brainstorm with you about Clubhouse. It seems like it's the rage. When it first hit, I was like, okay, every speaker, trainer, whatever it's influencer, whether actual or wannabe, is just a magnet. They're just flocking into this thing. But it looks like it's going a little more mainstream, and it looks like it's here to stay. What's your take on Clubhouse?
Yeah, so it's still like an uncharted frontier where people are still kind of figuring out quite what to do with it. So there's a lot of exploration, let's call it, going on, which is actually makes it a little bit more fun. So you never know what you're going to get until you're on Clubhouse. So right now it's only for iPhones. So that is keeping people back a little bit, and it's invite only. So you also have the culture that's fairly maintained because it's not like you can just get it. You have to get in from somebody who's already in. So that's kind of limiting it a little bit, but it has grown tremendously even over the last few weeks. So I forget how many users they said at the town hall meeting, but it might be 4 million or 3 million, something in that range.
It's real. I mean, it's a legit platform. When it first came out, I was, every time there's a new platform, is it busyness or is it business? And it seemed like, for me, busyness. But if I was selling something to speakers and influencers in all kinds of industries, I was like, there's business. But now it looks like business for all of us, I think, for loan officers. What is your why? What's your Clubhouse why? And why are you figuring it out and participating?
So for me, it kind of started out as let's just kind of see what this is a little bit. Todd Bookspan was the one who invited me into Clubhouse. And I kind of, as I started to explore, you kind of realize there's these huge opportunities there between CE training to realtors, creating community in your town, also just strange access to people. So we had a meeting, and I'm going to try to look up his name while we're chatting. This is what you get when we don't have a plan. But so we were I just started Friday night. I was like, hey, I'm going to see who's on. So I started like a Friday night mortgage hangout just to see who would pop in. I actually think you popped in.
I did pop in, and and two people tried to promote me to, speaker. And I'm like, I just want to chill. Like I was like multitasking. I had something on Netflix, and I'm like, what's going on? Often I'm like,
I don't want to talk.
I got to get out of here.
By the way, always just say no, and then
I know. Well, but I'm learning. I'm learning. But I was like impressed with who was on there. I was like, wow, these are some ballers. Your name included.
Yeah, no, it was. And that's what was crazy is we ended up having a whole discussion about the CFPB and what they were going to be up to. And I was like, this is insane to be. I just opened this random room as like a Friday hangout, and all of a sudden I'm able to ask questions like, hey, what are some projects that the CFPB is expected to work on this year? When does that happen?
Yeah, and you get an actual CFPB, I don't know if it was former or current employee. I thought that was interesting. Well,
it was pretty cool.
Let me qualify a few things for anyone who's listening to this right now. So whenever there's strategies that are working, I'm always looking like, is this noise or is this business? And I remember when social media first hit, I think it was years before I actually started advocating for social media, because there was just a lot of time where if you looked at $100 million producers, people that kill it, and they were using social media for anything other than their personal hobby, they weren't making money. It took years. And then it did get to a point where it is today, like leveraging media to build audience, to build community, to close a lot of loans. A lot of people doing it and closing a lot of business. It's absolute business. And Mortgage Coach, we've used social media and YouTube really effectively to grow our audience and to build our business. But I think Clubhouse, it's absolutely an opportunity. what do you hope to get out of it? Like, I got the why. What are like some goals that you have right now? Or do you have any?
Yeah, no, I absolutely do. I would love to open a community, like for my town, Steamboat, a club, so that really people can bring up issues specific to our town there. It's just another way to connect with people who are either moving here or that kind of stuff. I would love to start to do some CE type classes, not CE officially, but classes for real estate agents. I've been popping into some first time homebuyer rooms just to help out in there. And then also connect with other mortgage people. So we really haven't had a way to do that this year. And I didn't realize how much I missed it until I started to get into Clubhouse and talk to other mortgage people about, things that they're doing and meeting people from across the country. So we have a room that we're going to do tomorrow at 4 Mountain Time with a bunch of people as well. If anybody can hop on that room in Clubhouse, and I do have a few invites, people can post in the comments, and I can try to find them. But so, because just to bring some people together to talk about the mortgage industry, I think will also be huge, because I think we've all been missing that interaction between mortgage professionals, and that's something that I'm super excited about as well.
I hope you guys took notes on that, because you are the market leader in your city, right? You're the number one loan officer in the city that you live.
Yep.
And super smart. So if you are number one, become the Clubhouse / digital mayor. And if you want to become one, jump in there and be one of the leaders. I think there's a real opportunity to do that. And when you see someone like Kathryn that is doing it, I put a few posts out I'm not going to start reading off names, but it's like who's who in the mortgage industry is getting after this thing and sees it as business, not busyness. And so let's list the ideas. You want to connect with buyers in your market. So create rooms and jump into rooms that are relevant to geographically where you're at, and people who want to build wealth with real estate, people who want to get into real estate, anything that has to do with real estate and mortgage in your local community. Mm-hmm. What about help me here? I want Mortgage Coach. I want to change how people get into debt in America. And I believe that when a family gets into debt, they should get a total cost analysis versus a fee worksheet. You agree? That's why you're a red belt and have done over 1,000 TCAs. What's your advice to me on how I, in Mortgage Coach, should lead and participate? Any suggestions?
Yeah, so there are a ton of mortgage people on there who probably don't all know about Mortgage Coach. So it's a good way to build the Mortgage Coach community and introduce them to that. I've heard Mortgage Coach mentioned in rooms, so I know it's being talked about already. And so that's, I think, a great plan to do that with some rooms that are just about, hey, this is why I use Mortgage Coach and this is what's going on. And then also even just the same thing that's going on Facebook on your page of people connecting and, hey, I'm trying to figure out this. What do you think I should do? Because I think people are a little bit more willing to share and a little bit more willing to be open when it's voice to voice and they don't have to take the time to make a post. So I'm seeing there's a lot more willingness to help than on any other platform I've ever been on.
I agree. That's been obvious to me in the few times I've jumped on. What do you think about this idea for Mortgage Coach? Because I haven't officially asked you haven't said yes, but I think you will. I know Tony Blodgett, who's a great Mortgage Coach leader, is pretty fired up about it. I have texted back and forth with Shayla Gifford, and Shayla's like, Dave, whatever you need, I'm in. Really interested, but I was thinking about having a Mortgage Coach morning huddle where, because when I first started creating content at Mortgage Coach, it was around the thesis that every Tuesday at 9, I'm going to put on the best sales meeting for that week in the mortgage business. And I was thinking, should we put on, and again, I'm always going to try to be best, but should I try to do the best morning huddle? And literally, like, maybe earlier, maybe like 8 in the morning, we're going to have a great Mortgage Coach sales huddle for mortgage professionals, but then have you, Shayla, Tony, while I might be there as a speaker some mornings, I might not be there some mornings, but I just try to create this, hey, if you're a mortgage coach and you believe in technology, you believe in advice, you believe in the things that we believe in at Mortgage Coach, there's a conversation going on every morning at 8 o'clock. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I like it. I think that the better rooms there are the ones that are the most consistent. So if we can, if there's something that's set every day, as long as you know somebody will be there, that's always the key, to kind of moderate the room. Then absolutely, I think that's a great idea to have just a consistent room. And plus, it's a place that people can go and ask questions or go and just show up and get some mortgage vibes in the morning. Absolutely.
I like that morning vibes, mortgage coach morning vibes. So by the way, that might end up being the name.
There you go.
And so I would love to, we're recording this right now, so let's talk offline more about that. If you do want to be included as like one of the, I mean, first of all, it's Clubhouse. So if it's happening, you're invited. But if you want to have some intention, I'm going to have a small group. To be in that group, you have to be a top producer, doing a lot of volume, and you need to be a black belt or higher in mortgage coach. So, but I'm gonna be trying to build this group within the group of black belt, mostly will be red belts, that are also active in Clubhouse. So if you want to be one of those people, comment down below, private message me, and if you have my text number, shoot me a text. What about another idea I had? Is I think one of the cool things about how anybody can say, I have an idea and I want the stage. Like, it reminds me of bar camps. I don't know if you've ever been to a bar camp, but I used to love bar camps. So like, anybody can pick a room, pick a stage and lead it. I really love that. And one of the ideas I had is, while Facebook groups don't allow that currently, although I do think Facebook's watching what Clubhouse is doing, and we will see some functionality added over the next 6 months to Facebook. Just,
Yeah.
You heard it here. But in the meantime, what about having that small group that I'm kind of building within Mortgage Coach that's doing Clubhouse, that they could just pick ad hoc topics and I wouldn't even be on the call, and they would just lead a topic within the Mortgage Coach Facebook group. What do you think of that idea?
Yeah. No, I think that's great. And that's basically the essence of having a Clubhouse club, is that you have certain people who are part of the club who can make rooms in the club. And so then people who have that authority can then just say, hey, I'm going to start a room under the Mortgage Coach club and get that going. So yeah, absolutely. I think that's great. And you do have to, there's some disclosure around that, so we can talk about how to do that within Clubhouse, at least from as far as I've been able to figure out. But I think that the more platforms you can use it on, the better. So I think there's some good ways around how to do that.
Okay. So are you game with helping me crack the code on helping bring a little Mortgage Coach into Clubhouse and bring a little Clubhouse back into Mortgage Coach? Are you like, Dave, I'm in. You want to play that game together?
Yeah, I'm in. And part of it is, there's so much potential there, and trying to brainstorm around how to use that potential and what it could be is pretty fun, because it's like, I want more people to talk to about that, and there's not enough people who are on it yet. So it's always fun to chat about it.
Yeah. Well, I know another idea. Again, my why is really, really clear, guys. It's every family in America getting a total cost analysis. Like when you're getting into debt, are you better off getting rate, fee, cash to close? Are you better off getting rate, fee, cash to close, options, cost over time, tactics and strategies to get out of debt, or tactics and strategies to build wealth faster? I think B is what America wants. And so I also see us becoming active at doing more consumer first content, where we're driving education around how to build wealth with real estate, how to really make, should I keep renting or should I own? And just making sure that we got a lot of Mortgage Coach red belts in those conversations. So if you have ideas for me or Kathryn, comment down below. If you want to be in the club, you can either text me or Kathryn, and we'll have this kind of Mortgage Coach Clubhouse influencer group that we'll have going. Anything else that I should think about or know, or anything else you want to share with the Mortgage Coach community before we take off? We stop recording this live.
Let's see. I think it's a little bit of a learning curve. So make sure for new people that somebody shows them around, and be that they're hopping into some of those new rooms that are there's like new user rooms in Clubhouse to kind of show you what to do and how to build up your profile and all of those things. And I think there's a lot of strategy and I don't know, just tips around that. So make sure you're looking into those if you're a new user.
I noticed your profile was prolific. Like when I was looking at different people, I mean, I looked at like what I put in who I am, and I was like, that was like kindergarten. And then I looked at yours and I was like, whoa, she got her doctorate in how to show up. Did you do that by yourself, or did you get advice from someone?
You can change it while you're in a room. So I would go into like how to do a Clubhouse profile room, and I would be like changing it while I'm in there, like adding location and adding this. So everything in that profile is searchable. So I've been just adding things, and I've probably changed it 100 times since I signed up. So it's been building over time, and probably the last week I haven't touched it, but it definitely is something that makes a difference in if people find you and if people follow you and all that kind of stuff. So thanks.
Well, it was impressive. Like I looked at myself and I was like, yeah, always curious, always grateful. That's what I'm about. Mr. Mortgage Coach. Okay, I'm good to go. And then I looked at you and I was like, what? And I was looking for someone that I knew that was a mortgage coach that was like playing at your level. And I'm like, no, Kathryn is the varsity player of the people that I know. So I hope to find more of you. I hope like mortgage coach community guys, as it pertains to mortgage professionals, let's be the most well-known group community in Clubhouse. At least that's where I'm focused right now. Anything I can do to help you? I always like to make sure I'm giving back before we stop recording, but anything else that I should be doing as leader of mortgage coach?
No, you help me every day because I'm in mortgage coach every day. So you're doing it without having to actively participate, but I take that. So yeah, thanks for providing a great product that I'm able to use every day and help my clients out every day. So I appreciate you. And yeah, we'll have some fun on Clubhouse. And if people can show up to that room, that'd be great. I think it should be a good one. And you can see the guests that are there.
Would you do me a favor and post that in our group? Just promote it and put it in the group.
Yeah.
I do want to say, guys, we're pretty thoughtful about what we approve to go into the group. And while I'm definitely going to be very friendly with Clubhouse, don't just overwhelm the community with things that are just for you. Like make sure if you're promoting a group, it's like valuable to all loan officers. Also, Kathryn, I think you were on a call with me the 26th, guys, 26th at 9:00. We're doing a mastermind called MC Black Belt Training. And it was actually an idea from Sosi Avella, who Sosi's like, hey, Dave, I would love to have other black belts and other red belts. I have some strategies I want to teach, and I want to learn how other top mortgage coach users are using mortgage coach. So it's funny, there's a Clubhouse story of this because he called me saying, hey, Dave, you should do a call. And he told me what it was. And then I thought, you know what? I want to do like what Clubhouse is doing. And like, Sosi, I want you to lead that call. So the call you're on, I didn't even know when I scheduled it with Sosi that you were involved in Clubhouse, but it was inspired by Clubhouse. So FYI.
Very cool.
All right, guys, we're going to stop recording. If you got value, give us a like, share it with your mortgage friends. And if you have ideas, like what should we call the Mortgage Coach morning show? Should we call it the Mortgage Coach Morning Vibes? Put names down below. Take care, everybody. Don't leave.